Finally, Black Mirror, one of the most thought-provoking shows out there, has announced that it's returning after a 4-year hiatus. With the trailer recently being released for Season 6, we got our first look at the episodes, the cast, the release date, and the environment in which the episodes will be set. It's safe to say that it looks as though it's going to be a dark, interesting, and messed up ride. So with that, I thought I'd break down and explain the trailer and give my theories and predictions on what I think is going to happen in the upcoming season. So let's get into it. Here is Black Mirror Season 6 trailer breakdown and everything we know. Just to let you know, this video will contain spoilers. Let's start by looking at the posters for Season 6 and seeing what we can get from it. So it looks as though the poster has been put on a VHS. Judging by that choice, I think they've made the decision based on the fact that a few of the episodes are going to be set in the past. When we take a deeper look at the poster, it does actually tell us what the episodes are going to be called, and how many episodes there will be. On top on the first line, I imagine it says Black Mirror Season 6. Then underneath that, it says Beyond the Sea, which has been confirmed to be on the first line. Episode 2 looks as though it's going to be titled Lock Henry. Episode 3 seems as though it's going to be Something is Awful, and it's been confirmed that it's going to be called Joan is Awful. The fourth line finishes off with the word day, so it could quite literally be anything, Judgment Day or What a Day. However, it looks as though the word before day finishes with the letter Y, and it's recently been confirmed that it's going to be called Maisie Day. Then the final episode, which was written in a thick marker when compared to the others, seems as though it finished with the number 79, and it's been confirmed that it's going to be called Demon 79, which sounds as though it could be Black Mirror's darkest one so far. So there's definitely some interesting titles in this season. One thing to note is that there is a director called Toby Haynes directing an episode in Season 6. He was previously on the show in Season 4 and directed USS Callister, so he could well be directing the episode that features Aaron Paul looking as though he was in space. Now let's move on to the trailer. The trailer opened up with the lyrics to the song I Don't Want to Set the World on Fire being played. This has definitely been used to lean in on the fact that people are destroying the world, and that each individual's character's world is going to be getting destroyed within the episode as we watch their demise unfold. The first thing that we saw was some kind of shuttle in space with Aaron Paul on board looking slightly confused as to what was going on. There was also a shot of an individual looking as though they were doing a repair on the bottom of it, so this could well be Aaron Paul's character. He could be up there alone. The next shot that we had was of what looked like it was from a different episode. The shot was of a diner called Emerald's Diner. Considering that the place was open 24/7, it seemed as though it was closed. One interesting thing to take away from this was the fact that there was a police car parked out the front, and there was a screen lit up on the inside. Maybe this could be the scene of a crime. Then the next shot was of what looked like a different episode. This one looked as though it was set in 1970s Britain. This is due to the driver being on the right hand side and the number plate of the vehicle being black. This was something that changed during the 1980s where it was swapped out with a yellow one. So this episode seems as though it's going to be set in the 1970s. Could this potentially be Demon 79? Then we cut back to Aaron Paul in space, and he's most definitely up there on his own, as he was walking throughout the center, so I feel he's definitely going to encounter some kind of issue up there. After this, we then had what looked like another episode, which was of a young girl inside of a car, under a tunnel, at night in the dark, looking as though she'd done something terrible and was fearful. Then we moved on to what I think is part of the episode which had the diner included, and it must be set in the early 2000s. She had an iPod Shuffle, a Nokia-style phone, and a chunky laptop, which is what I feel could have been lighting up in the diner. Also, the main giveaway to the time period was the fact that the character was dialing up to the internet with the iconic sound. Then we had what looked like the episode that will be set in the 1970s again, and it does look as though it's going to be the creepiest of them all, as there was a young girl who worked in a shoe store peering behind the curtain. The line, "Jesus Christ, they've done it," was uttered over the top of this. I personally think this could be taken from the episode which has Aaron Paul in space. It feels like one that could have a lot at stake, and a line that wouldn't feel too alien to the episode. Then we had what I believe is the final episode that was featured in this trailer, and it's from Joan is Awful. We know this due to the fact that Joan's name badge was on the table. This one looked as though it was set in the modern day or in the not so distant future, judging by the surroundings and the environment. She received a message from somebody called Mac saying that they missed her. With the several dots that were followed after it, it did make it look extremely ominous. We then had an individual saying, "Let me show you how this will play out." And again, I think this is from the episode that features the store clerk, judging by the wallpaper and the style of outfit that he was wearing. I almost feel as though he could be something that appears inside of her head and tells her what to do, as it did look as though later on in the trailer she was going a bit crazy. It was then accompanied by a shot from what I think is the same episode of the girl in the shoe store that we previously saw, but this time she was going crazy and attacking a customer. There was then text that was featured in red, which made me question why they've made that choice, as it's never been in red before, so it makes me think that it could be due to a lot of blood being present. Due to the glossy nature of the next two shots, I feel this was from the episode that could be featuring Aaron Paul. There was a rather odd object that many of the people were looking at, and I feel it could be connected to something that he's doing in space. We then had the line, "You know none of this is right," being uttered over what looked like the guy dancing with a woman. Maybe he's having some kind of affair. I feel this could also be from the episode that's set in the 70s. This is due to the decor and dress sense. Then we had a shot of what could be the girl that was sitting in the car in a panicked state, with the line, "I love this," being uttered over the top. Maybe she could be some kind of killer. I feel this was the episode that we got the least from in the trailer, so I'm intrigued to see what this one's going to be about. After this, there was then Joan looking as though she was talking to a guy. I think Joan looks like she could be a bit of a loose cannon. Could the person that she sat with be Mac? Then we had Zazie Beetz taking a photo. I feel she could definitely be some kind of stalker, although it did look like she was part of the press in this shot that occurred later on down the line. This was then followed by a shot from the episode which could be from Joan is Awful, followed by what I'm going to imagine is Aaron Paul's watch from the episode that he's in. The trailer then concluded with it looking like it's going to be going a bit mental, with the mannequin covered in blood, then Zazie Beetz' character walking over to what I think could be a police officer judging by the clothing and the gold badge on his trousers. Maybe a scene similar to the diner. There was a wedding taking place with Joan walking into it, looking like she was planning on disrupting it. She also had BM on her cheerleader outfit, a subtle nod to Black Mirror. Then one of the store clerk in a room with it on fire, most likely having caused damage following the voice inside of her head telling her to do something, which we saw smiling in a completely harrowing and haunting manner. It definitely looks as though this season of the show is going to be like no other. I've done my best to give my theories and predictions, but obviously they may not all be correct. But regardless, I hope you've enjoyed it, and I for one can't wait to see what's going to happen. With only a little over a month to wait, there's not that long to go at all. So, there you have it, Black Mirror Season 6 trailer breakdown and everything we know. If you want to see more videos such as endings explained, theories and predictions and character breakdowns, then click on the I button. Or alternatively, you can head over to my channel where you'll find them all. If you'd like to give me a show or movie that you'd like me to review, then head over to my Twitter, @BrainPilot_, and tweet me what show or movie you'd like me to review next. And finally, if you'd like to see what I rate the latest movies that don't quite make the cut to getting a dedicated video, then head over to my Letterboxd profile. It's where I rate the latest releases in real time. What do you think is going to happen? Leave a comment down below. And don't forget to subscribe. I'll see you next time.